Hello, welcome to the Mumpreneur Project. My name's Hayley Hopkins, and this is my first ever audio, video, YouTube, whatever you want to call it. However, this is also about my 10th attempt to try and get it right because I have no idea what I'm doing. I haven't grown up wanting to be a YouTuber. I haven't grown up wanting to be a podcast person. But here we are with my hair scraped back, no makeup on. There's a reason why. But hey, here we are. And I did see a quote, I think, last week, which was something like, your first attempt is going to be absolute shite, but by the 100th, you'll be better. So here we are doing a shite first attempt. And hopefully, in 100 weeks' time, I will be a little bit better with my hair sorted out, with makeup on. But anyway, a bit about me. So I have two daughters. One's 4 and one is 9. And I run my own private healthcare practice in Edenbridge, which is in Kent, all by myself. We have a team of 15, and we're bringing on doctors and orthopedic consultants. So it's pretty busy in clinic, really. And I also work in professional sport, which I absolutely love. And yeah, so I've got a lot going on. But I would say over the last 6 months, there's been a shift. I've been doing sort of 6 days working, a few days in sport. And at the beginning of the year, I tend to write down how I want my life to look like, or what I want out of life. And earlier in the year, I put down that I wanted to come completely out of the clinic, and that the clinic runs by itself. I don't want to be running a business anymore. I want freedom to do what I want to do and, treat the people that I want to treat. And I wanted to build up my professional portfolio with sports players. And yeah, I went into detail about how my daily life would look like, what car I'd want to drive, which house I'd like to live in, which AI, may I just add, is incredible. You can, sorry, I'm squeaking around because I've got a really painful back. Type into AI all the things you want out of life, and it's incredible. It will give you a full story of what your perfect life would look like. And actually, you can record that and play it back as part of your sort of subliminal programming. But I'll do another show on that one. Anyway, so there we go. I've planted the seeds of how I wanted my life to look like, and then all of a sudden, I wasn't really taking action. So I was building up sort of professional athlete profiles that have been wanting to come and see me outside, or for one-to-one sort of treatment. But I wasn't really shifting much in terms of the clinic and my working hours. And then I was still moaning that I was like, oh, but I really want to do like work with professional athletes, and I really want the business to run by itself. Wow. And then all of a sudden, I went to work last week, so last Thursday, turned up to work, and I opened up my laptop. I had about 7 or 8 hours worth of patients booked from start to go. And I just thought, I've got nothing left in the tank. I am empty. I've got nothing, not even a drop of water, nothing. And I just sat there and cried, and I couldn't stop crying. And then my work colleagues came in, and I couldn't really tell them why I was crying. They were then like, I think you should probably go, Hayley. So I left crying. And I just had to get out. So I ended up driving back to my parents, which is like half an hour away. And I got home to my parents, and my mum said, "Hey, I think you're having a breakdown." Um, and actually, I realised I was having a breakdown. So I went to bed, slept for about 3 hours, and then woke up literally like, where the heck was I? And then I had a notification on my phone from the doctor saying, "We want to come and see you." So in I went to see the doctor, who was like, "Yep, you are having a breakdown. You're burnt out, basically. You're burnt out. You need 2 weeks off." And usually I would have freaked out if someone told me to take a day off. The first thing that would have come to mind was, "I can't afford it. I need to work. The business needs me. My patients won't survive." But actually, it felt kind of good. And I was like, "Do you know what? I think I do need a couple of weeks off." So I then decided to actually move out of the family home and back in with my parents for about 4 nights. I needed to get away from noise, anything that was going to make me feel like I had to be anything other than inside my head. Sorry, I can't get my computer to turn off for some reason. For the first few days, I literally just slept. My mum handed in food every now and then to make sure I wasn't starving. And I just slept and I didn't talk to anyone. And I didn't realize how tired I was. No wonder I had nothing left in the bucket. And then I came home a few days later, obviously to be with the girls. It's summer holidays, isn't it? So I've got mum mode to also factor in. Didn't want them to think I was walking out on them. And when I got home, my back, I had the worst back pain, and I was like, it's just because I've been sleeping. So Monday evening, I went to my clinic and had a massage with one of the girls, and it was all right. I came away feeling a bit better. And then the next day, I was actually worse. So I went in to see our physio. He was like, "Yeah, you've actually irritated a disc, which can happen when you are having too much bed rest." So, ironically, I go home and sleep to repair mentally, and I end up physically breaking. Which I think is part of the universe, is kind of like, I'm watching you. You've got this time off for a reason. Don't go rushing back, because it knows full well if I'm feeling up to it, I'll go back into doing a million different things at the same time. So, yeah. And then yesterday, so the day after physio, I was in so much pain. I couldn't get off the floor. I had to crawl in to see our private GP, who prescribed me 3 different painkillers. One was actually for nerve pain. So, actually, one of my discs is slightly bulging, aggravating a nerve, which is why when I say stab in the back, if I would rather be giving birth like to an elephant than to be going through the level of pain I went through yesterday. Today I'm a little bit better. Because obviously pain medication, but mentally I'm like, come on, if I know manifesting works, I know that if I have a positive view on this back pain, it's an emotional stress response. It's not because my spine is giving way or giving out to me. I know this pain is to make me stop and slow down, and that's what I need to do. So yeah, here we are. I'm signed off. So I've got another week to go. Part of me obviously wants to go back and see clients, but I know full well that I need to take the time off. Yeah, so that's why I've got no makeup. My hair isn't done because I can't get in and out of the shower. Anyway, I had a meeting today with a counsellor. We were put in contact, and I think it's because we were meant to be put in contact. The universe put us together. She is a counsellor or a psychologist that specialises in neuroscience, and I'm freaking addicted to neuroscience and how the brain works, manifesting, and yeah, everything in between. And she said, Hayley, this isn't working. 6 days a week, the clinic is not working. This isn't for you. It's the wrong path. And I was like, yeah, do you know what? I feel that it is the wrong path. I'm not meant to be there anymore. I'm meant to be coming out and focusing on me. And I sort of said, do you know what? I'm at the stage where I no longer want to work for Eden Sports Clinic. I want the clinic to work for me. And that means coming out and working on what I want to do. So, working with professional athletes and getting paid my worth. When you run a business, some months you don't pay yourself at all because you've got all the staff to pay. My outgoings for the clinic is about £11,000 a month, and that doesn't even include staff wages. So yes, we turn over a shit ton each month, but my outgoings are massive. So I'm now at the stage that I'm like, right, I feel ready. I feel ready to focus on my worth, and that is getting paid money. In my affirmations, I've got that I want to earn £10,000 a month. And when I break down all the little bitty jobs that I have either planned or can get going with, when they all come together, they equal about £10,000 a month. And that's not even working full time. That's working around sort of the clinic, still running the business, but I'm doing what actually I want to do. And I feel like the universe made me physically stop dead in my tracks, pretty much took away my legs so I couldn't move to get my attention, because otherwise I wouldn't be listening. I'd still be chugging out 6-day weeks, still wondering why, I don't have the time to work with my professional athletes. So even though it's been a very painful week and probably another painful week ahead of me, I'm actually excited. And when I realized I was going to be signed off for 2 weeks, not making any money, I didn't feel scared. I felt excited because I know this has happened for a reason, and I really feel like shit's going to go down. Yeah. So I thought, do you know what? I've been wanting to do some form of audio, YouTube, podcast, online thing to help business women like me that are running a physical business, a high street business, be it, a small shop, big shop, multiple different businesses. Because I've been there, and you know what? It is hard. You are so lonely when you run a business by yourself, even though you might have the most amazing team around you. It is lonely. We're all entrepreneurs, and actually being an entrepreneur, I personally believe is it's a bit of an illness. I think an entrepreneur is an addict to getting the highs in life, a bit like an alcoholic, or I'd imagine sort of someone that takes drugs. They're constantly chasing the high, and they don't know how to live through the not the downs, the in between bits. You're constantly for the next high, and then we're in that sort of transition between the next high. You get a little bit frustrated, you don't feel fulfilled. So I generally think being an entrepreneur is an illness. So I feel called to set up a platform to kind of work with women, A, so they can earn more money, B, so that they don't have to be working as hard, and C, to make sure we're living our best goddamn life. Because at the moment, I wasn't living my best goddamn life. And the counsellor I saw today, she was like, "You're not living your best life, are you, Hayley?" And I was like, no. And do you know what? No, I'm not. I've got a lot to be grateful for, but I'm not living my best life. So that brings me on to soul calling versus ego. So my soul calling for probably about a year, 2 years has been to set up an online platform for women and mums that are also business owners, to give some kind of support, things that I've done to sort of manifest more business, more money, things that haven't worked, that have led me to burnout, not listening to the universe's cues, things like that. So my soul calling, it feels like a warm, fluffy, fuzzy, yummy feeling inside. But look out for the ego. So the ego is basically your head telling you that, oh, you're not quite good enough for that, are you? Or who's going to want to listen to you? Why would people want to listen to your podcast versus someone that's got 2 million listeners? And people might not want to, but hey, I'm putting the help out into the universe, and if people want to tune in, they can tune in. If they don't want to tune in, they don't want to tune in. But anyway, so I'm going to talk a lot more about sort of the ego versus your soul calling and what you can do to get through those hurdles. So and I also thought it would be pretty cool to document if it's actually possible to manifest millions. And I thought, what better way to do it than in a weekly live, whatever you call this shit. So let's see what happens. So I am going to put out into the universe that I'm going to have a few extra followers by the end of the week, because they want to see, can you actually manifest, or is this just what people do to get rich? Because we're so desperate to earn money. So you're going to quickly sign up to those monthly £200 subscriptions that they tell you that they're going to, make you earn millions. And I was one of those. I was one of those people that signed up, and I already know it. I know everything about manifesting, the law of vibration, energy blocks, you name it, I've learned it. So I know what I should be doing. It's just doing it. And I think now's my time. So give us a follow, give us a like, whatever you're meant to do on sort of the YouTube and TikToks and audio pods, whatever you call this. Let's see if I can pull this off. Let's see if I can physically come out of my business, earn more money working part-time, not having to run a business whilst growing my online audience. Can I even make money online? I don't really know yet, but why don't we see? Why don't we see if it's real? Okay. So stay tuned. I'll throw it out there now. So I don't know what my followers are on Instagram at the moment. I think it's 22 people, and I'm pretty sure they're all from India, and I'm pretty sure they're all men trying to perhaps sell stuff. I don't know. But if you're one of my followers, hi. If you're not a follower, hello. Anyway, I'll catch you next week, and I can't wait to share what happens next.